Previously on Survivor Branford. After Brandon's attempt of voting out Mark went awry, he was already beginning to pack his bags. But Mark, after rejecting the idea of an all-returning players alliance, was willing to forgive and forget. Sticking to his tried and true approach, Mark sought to reunite Phoenix against Angela, whose powers to convince him to do things against his best interests were not lost on him. But Angela, in a manner of self-preservation, was able to appeal to former Phoenix members Mare and Lisa to vote out the untrustworthy Brandon while still retaining her extra vote for another day. 7 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
I'm pretty surprised to still be in it. Just excited to keep going. I guess I'm a little worried about alliances at this point because I don't feel like I'm fully in one. It seems like Angela and Joe have something going on, and I'm definitely not in the Phoenix Alliance. So I guess tomorrow morning I'm just going to have to work on that.
What happened in that vote? I have no idea. I talked to Mark right before going to vote, and he said Angela, and so we thought we were all still voting for Angela, and now it looks like we're fractured. I have no idea what's going on. I'm okay with Brandon going home. It was kind of my idea. Ultimately, I didn't want to betray the group. I thought I was just going with the flow once again, and I guess not.
So I'm a little shaken by how that last vote went. I had no idea Angela was getting votes, let alone that Mark was giving them to her with whoever else. And Mark is playing it like it was crossed wires, fine, but I feel a little bit like I was left out of the loop on that one, which it doesn't feel good because I saw Mark as my strongest ally, and I'm like, well, now what? I do feel like it was a vote of confidence that Angela let me in, that her and Joe were not voting for Lisa anymore, so that was good. Overall, though, I feel like I'm going to bed not looking back, regretting things that I did today. I feel like I'm happy with every step that I've taken along the way, and hopefully I can maintain that through tomorrow.
I think all sorts of wires were crossed for that last vote. I had immunity for the last 2 votes. I think the minute I don't have immunity, I am out. I think no one's going to let me make it to the last 3.
I'm happy to be in the second day. Seeing Angela's name come up a little bit there made me a little bit nervous, but I'm glad it went the way I expected. I think we got to get some of the stronger players on the other team out. I would put Mark at the top of that list. I do think Angela's extra vote we're gonna need to use that, but I don't think we can use that this vote. If me and Angela get one other person, then at best we can do is 4-4. If we both can make it through this next vote, we can easily control the vote at 6 people. The fact that she confided in me, that she found it, speaks to our alliance.
I don't trust Joe. I don't know. I want to trust Joe. I told him my thing because I just panicked and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to tell anyone. I told him I have this secret advantage. I have an extra vote. I told him because I was trying to figure out if it was worth pulling the trigger or not, and I'm glad at least we talked about it. I guess it worked out for the best because I didn't have to use my vote, but I didn't want to vote Brendan out, and I didn't want to tell anyone about my extra thing, so I don't know. I feel neutral on the outcome. I'm still in the game. I guess I feel pretty positive about the outcome, but the means to get there wasn't perfect. We had a bunch of talks before that last tribal, and me, Meredith, Joe, and Mark were talking about having a power foursome and all this stuff, but I just didn't trust Mark at all. Tomorrow, I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea.
So here's my idol. So excited. I'm gonna tuck it away and we'll see what happens. But I made it way farther than I ever thought I would. Day 1. I made it into the merge and beyond. So we'll see where tomorrow brings us. Good night.
thinking not this round, but next round would probably be the ideal time to use that extra vote.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was pointless up until like now because there's just so many votes that like one vote doesn't have that big of an impact. I don't know. We gotta figure out who's on our page. Like, I don't know who to trust. Mark is obviously lying. I wanted to work with him. I've like gone to him like multiple times and been like, just let's work together. I mean, I guess it comes down to who wins immunity.
It does. I think if Mark's available to be voted off, I think we should go after Mark.
Yeah, for sure. Meredith and Mark split up for that vote, then can we use Meredith and get Mark out?
So what happened? How come I didn't know that Angela was getting votes? I thought we were doing Lisa. Joe and Angela were talking in whispering. You and Melissa were talking in whispering. I was just like, why am I not part of any of these conversations at the 11th hour?
I also didn't get any of that last minute information. I was also out of the loop.
Okay.
I don't know about the voting last night. I totally got messed up. There was miscommunication or betrayal. I'm not sure.
How so? Where was the miscommunication?
I caved to pressure to Angela.
Who pressured you?
I don't want to say.
I'm gonna do Mark. And he was saying there was a miscommunication. I don't think it was a miscommunication. I think he was just trying to save face, like I said.
He told me the same thing for what it's worth, but I'm also not sure it was a miscommunication.
I asked him where was the miscommunication, and he couldn't expand on it. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident he's just trying to save face.
Mm-hmm.
Mark is, I think, definitely a solid choice to get out.
Do you have votes for him?
I'm not sure. I would say the safer thing for you would be just to get on the train and vote Mark out.
The next player to be voted off cannot be from Phoenix. Has to be Dragonfly. I think the 4 is Phoenix. And I think then what we need to do is just get him to go off next.
Why? Tell me why you don't like the Joe Angela line. I actually really like that.
I don't trust, like, they're gonna vote me off is what's gonna happen. And I think similarly they're gonna vote you off.
With who? They're not close
Anybody
enough.
else. It's way too late to like change course now. Like we've dug our grave, I think.
With 7 left, you gotta get a 4.
Yeah.
I personally would like to have it be you, me, Melissa, and Mark. I think that's a good final 4. It's a Phoenix strong final 4.
I'm down for that.
I'd rather vote out Eddie though, because
Right.
cards on the table.
Yeah.
Joe and Angela, I've asked Mark and I to join in, and I'd like to string that along for a minute.
And
I'm
Mike
worried about
voting.
Melissa. Here's the thing, Mark and I talked about it. Like if she's one about Eddie, I think that would make Mark feel better.
What if you and Meredith talked about? She said that Joe and Angela are trying to get Mark and Mare on their side. She said she wants to string that along for a little bit.
Because it benefits her.
Right. She was like, I'm worried about Melissa because I don't think she would vote for Eddie.
To send Eddie out, and that's who she wants to get out next. Okay. I'll cut Eddie out off if we have to, but I just feel like he's not the biggest threat.
Okay.
I think Joe is a way bigger threat. I haven't really been able to like talk to Joe. I don't know if I
know.
can trust him. Like it's,
Oh, I know. I don't feel like I can either. I've had like one conversation with him this whole time.
and I hate to go against Mark because he's gotten us so far in the game.
That kills me. That's tough. Because I feel like I'm also thinking too, like who can help me get to the end?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he would.
Yeah. I think between Joe and Mark, we need to get one of them out this round. I want to keep things interesting.
I know.
That's pretty important to me. Personally, I want to make big moves. I don't want to be sitting at the final tribal council saying like I didn't work my ass off to
Right,
get here.
right.
Like I want.
And I didn't make moves.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like, and that's. I feel like that's what's being said about me is that like I'm just like playing the game passively and going along with what the team says.
I know.
People are really trying to push for you.
I know. And
I don't want to do it.
so far this has gone very well for the 3 members of Dragonfly. The cohesion on our side is like breaking apart. So here I'm telling you what I'm gonna
That's
do.
true. Okay.
You, me, Meredith, and Melissa are the 4. We have to get them off. I think we have to do Eddie and Joe. That's what has to happen. I'm doing my best to keep my original strategy, which is a unified team in the face of very strong opposing players. If I get voted off, I would bet 100% that someone from Dragonfly wins the end. If I stay on, I think I might win overall, but I still think other folks from Phoenix could win as well. Therefore, I think it's in everyone's best interest to keep me on and vote off Eddie. But we'll see.
So I had a lot to think about last night. I really feel like, I've been trying to make moves in this game. I've been able to trust my alliance so far, and I just I don't want to turn on them, but I also want to make big moves and get out big players. My plan was to get out Joe first. It might be a good time to get out a big player, and it's been in my back pocket that he needs to go at some point. Whew. It's a lot to think about.
Right now, with 7 left, you gotta have a 4. I'm worried though because I know you're tight with Eddie, and it's like,
I can vote against Eddie if we have to, but I don't feel like it's the right time.
who do you think's right now for?
Well, I think Joe is a stronger threat than Eddie is.
That's probably true.
That's why I feel like that's the smart move. So who are we gonna get out this round? Is it Joe or Eddie?
I'm going to do it. I'll let you make the call. You can make the call.
I think it should be Joe.
I'll let you make the call.
Okay.
So Joe. Joe.
All right, survivors ready? Go. Mare has hers hooked on the first try. Eddie's got his first. Angela has hers. Melissa with one. Mark with one. Lisa's still working on her first. And now has it. Eddie got his second. Eddie out to the early lead.
Angela with her second.
Mark with his second. Mare has her second. Eddie's got all his. He's gonna get started. Who will be able to figure out what this image is first? Mark with a good throw. Can he hook it? No. Angela has her third. She's getting ready to start on the puzzle, proving why she is surprised most people athletically.
Thanks, Jim.
Mare has her third. Mark has his third.
Both Mare and Mark going to start on their puzzles.
Joe has his third. Oh, with a big yank.
Mark making some progress. Eddie's early lead is all but gone at this point. Individual immunity to the first person who can solve this puzzle. Remember the theme of the season. Melissa's still looking for her third. Everyone being tested right away this morning with a puzzle. Hopefully the castaways were able to get some sleep overnight. Based on how the post-merge tribal councils have been going, I know there's not one person here who wouldn't want immunity. Eddie's still with almost no progress, perhaps the panic setting in. Joe trying to overcome a slow start and make up time on the puzzle. Remember, this is a 4x4 puzzle. Mark, unsure of what's wrong, seems to have run out of pieces to try. Several people very close now. This challenge isn't going to last much longer.
Jim?
Angela thinks she has it.
Got it?
Got it. She called me first. Angela wins immunity for the second time. All right, Angela, for the second time this season, immunity is yours. You will live to see the final 6 in this game. One of the rest of you will become the 8th member voted out.
I think we should just vote Mark out.
I think we should just vote Mark out. He was trying to save face. He was trying to claim that his vote for you was a miscommunication, and I asked him to like expand on that, and he couldn't. He refused to. So
There was no miscommunication.
Right.
That's what he keeps saying. Every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, I was convinced of this thing, but now I'm convinced of this
Right.
thing. So you guys are thinking Mark, obviously.
We're feeling it out, yeah.
who would you rather go against in the final 3, me or Mark?
Probably you.
So let's get Mark out.
If I vote with you guys against Mark, that puts me like at the bottom of maybe like a 4-person alliance. So I don't really see a benefit to voting for Mark instead of Joe.
Where do you see yourself on your current tribe? Or your former tribe?
To be honest, I feel like things are being controlled by Mark and Mary.
So you'd be in the same spot on your former tribe.
I mean, yeah.
A lot's happening. I'm not actually sure where we're gonna land. It seems like Mark's an easy vote. It seems like people are in on it.
I'm so glad I have to meet you.
Thank God I want immunity.
I can't believe that I have won anything.
But you're like athletic.
Okay, the ones I won were like using your toes.
You guys are voting Mark, is what I'm sensing, hearing.
That's what I'm hearing as well. I mean, we all voted together last night. I think. Oh,
For Brandon.
yeah. Like,
yeah,
we voted
I
together.
know. I feel like that was an easy out, but now I feel like it's an odd number, and it's like who has more people that can actually stick together.
Right.
Just full transparency. Like I feel a sense of loyalty to like Mark. I feel like voting out Mark would not help me too, because I feel like he's been loyal to me as far as I can tell. I'm more thinking who's gonna get me to the final 3.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Melissa's on the fence almost. Like what is she?
She's saying all different things, so I'm not sure.
I know she is.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
Melissa, she's willing to come Phoenix 4 to the end if we do Joe.
That's big because I think she is teeter top.
I know.
You know what I mean?
So I said,
think
okay,
that,
so Joe.
and then I think she'll feel more confident staying with us.
So what are you thinking? Really and truly?
I want to
do-
vote with you guys.
Like, do we need to be worried?
So we're voting off Joe.
We're really worried about you, and we don't want to be, because it's perfectly plausible for you to say, I'm teaming up with them 4 and picking off the rest of Phoenix. That puts you in a very bad position. That
Yeah.
puts you on the outs with them.
I agree.
So I'm just putting that out there.
I agree.
I know we have to think about what Brandon did. He flip-flopped and got voted out.
Immediately.
Yeah.
When it didn't work.
Melissa's really shaky with me. Her, me, and Lisa sat down. I think we had a good conversation and solidified things back together to vote for Joe. And it just feels like very scattered right now. You know, Mark's name's being thrown out. If we can make it through this vote, me, Mark, Lisa, and Melissa, it will be a miracle.
I say we go for Mark this round.
Alright.
You, me, Angela, Joe.
I can trust you. Melissa said that she's willing to vote for Mark if you, me, and Angela vote for Mark.
I mean, I'm ready to vote for Mark.
Okay.
I don't really have any other options.
I'm down to vote Mark this round.
Are you sure?
You, me, Eddie, and Joe against Mark. I think it's the only opportunity to get him out. We're voting on Mark.
Yeah, Eddie's on board.
Are you on board?
Yeah.
You guys aren't like messing with me. are you?
No.
So we got 4.
We do have 4, so we have the numbers.
Okay.
Do you guys trust me?
I mean, we don't have options.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I can trust Joe, then we have the votes against Mark. If I can trust Melissa as well, and Angela, then we have the votes against Mark.
Do we just have to trust Melissa at this point? hoping we've got a foursome right now of me, Eddie, Melissa, and Angela, and we can get Mark out. I mean, I feel like that's who I can trust most right now, but I can't, I honestly don't feel like I can trust, other than Angela, I don't feel like I can trust the other two, but I don't have many options right now. I feel like the biggest targets right now with Angela having immunity are me and Mark. I'm just trying to put a bigger target on Mark. I still think Mark is the better option for you two to go for. He's who I would rather, if I was in your shoes, he's who I would rather go against in the final three.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Why?
For just time.
Why can't you tell me?
Because Mark's more predictable.
Mark needs to make a move. He said that.
He said that to me too.
Everyone needs to make a move.
Yeah. But Mark more so than anybody else. Because Mark is going to be like, oh my god, he did that again.
His argument is flawed because he's assuming Mark would go to the final three. And it would be us three. If our plan works out.
This is bad news.
Melissa wants to do something to prove herself. I think the right thing to do is what I've been proposing, genuinely. I'm really worried that you're going to vote me off.
I'm not gonna vote you off. How's Melissa doing? She's making me nervous. I asked her in the room we were just
Go talk again. Go talk again. She's doing a good job playing the game.
Okay.
You guys trust me?
I think she might be bullshit. She told me she wanted to make big moves.
She did. She told me the same thing.
It's honestly possible that she's gonna vote for us. I would not be surprised. Me neither.
Mark's really afraid of going out. Like, I think he thinks he's next, and he might be.
I think he should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my vote. His game choice.
I
I think everyone will be on board with that. I think it could be an easy one. It's a good chance to get him one that doesn't have immunity. I know that's probably going to be the case against me next time, but it's true. I just know I can't trust Mark, so. It's so good to have immunity. Melissa was just saying that you're throwing Joe under the bus and saying, I'll target Joe.
No.
I almost kind of want to put Melissa out, honestly. But she's just like making things confusing.
She's making me worried. I've heard a lot of different things from her, but she literally just told me Joe's name.
I want to know what you're telling people, because I'm hearing things about what you're saying, and I want to hear out of your mouth what you're telling people.
So I was pretty honest with Mark this morning. I was like, listen, I didn't like being on the out. Angela and Joe filled me in on what they were doing at the 11th hour. I had no idea what you were doing. You're supposed to be my ally. And he was like, it was a miscommunication. I'm like, okay, well, last night when he voted for you, I did not know about that plan.
Right.
Like, I looked at you and I was like, what just happened? Like, I felt like I was on the outs on that. I was like, what?
So you'd want to go Mark? You're 100% in? Are you sure?
Yeah. Everything I just said to her was a lie. I really do think Mark, Lisa, and Melissa and I are good. I'm still Mark, Lisa, Melissa, voting for Joe because that's who Melissa picked. But I need to reconvene with them.
Are we still voting Joe?
Yeah. So I still am trying to figure out when the best time is, if there is a time ever, to share that I have the idol with my alliance. I don't feel like 100% there yet. I don't feel fully confident for some reason, because it's my power card right now, and I don't feel like I want to play it yet.
So, I don't know exactly which way I'm gonna vote yet. My tribe seems like they've come around and they want to get Joe out too. But I just feel like this is such a good opportunity to get rid of Mark. He's just such a threat in this competition, and it was him who said that I need to make a big move. I don't know.
Okay, final 7.
Just as hot as it was yesterday, so here we are continuing to remain inside for Tribal Council.
Joe, I have a question for you.
Did the overnight break allow you to recharge and get yourself ready to go for today?
Or was that actually a bad thing to maybe hinder any momentum that you had gathered overnight?
That's a good question. I don't think I feel entirely refreshed, simply due to lack of sleep.
Melissa, were you able to sleep sound, or was it more of kind of like a half sleep as you continued to process information from the game?
Yeah, no, I slept pretty well actually. I feel pretty comfortable right now in the game, so I mean, I don't think there's too much to worry about.
Lisa, so at the last Tribal Council, Brandon was voted out, and that vote might have crossed tribal lines a little bit, so...
Do you think the ramifications of that are still being felt right now?
Yeah, I think it's informing how people are moving forward in the game. I think that there's definitely, I mean, at this point, I think that a lot has been fractured. But I guess we'll just see what happens when the votes are read.
Mark, a couple tribal councils ago, you played your idol. Turned out you didn't need it. Do you feel like you're really missing it right now?
I am missing it significantly right now. I spent far too much time looking for the idol than talking to people this discussion period.
And as you said, longest discussion ever?
It felt like the longest discussion ever.
Mayor, do you have your finger on the pulse of the game right now? Do you think you have a good idea where each of the other people will be putting their votes this time?
I feel like as soon as you think you have a good pulse is when you get voted out. So I hope I do, but you can only trust what people are telling you and hope that you're interpreting and making the right choices based on who you can trust and who you can't. So I hope so, but I'm not nearly confident enough to say that I do.
Well, we know there's one person who can't be voted out. Continues to surprise us all athletically. Angela, do you think you needed that challenge? And if so, did it propel you to perform maybe better than you would have normally at something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's going to be a consistent trend throughout the game is, you know, the returning players are kind of targeted pretty aggressively, so it's always important to win that idol.
Well, Mark, by my count, there's 4 returning players here out of the total 7. Wouldn't that be simple? The 4 of you could just get together and run it to the final 4?
There's a couple of different splits that you can get 4 and 3 from 7. Experienced and new folks is one of those splits. Original tribes is another one of those splits. And I think there's another split out there that hasn't yet been discussed openly.
Is now the time to discuss that?
Guys versus girls.
Is there a gender split, Eddie? No? Because they would have you outnumbered. It's 4 to 3.
I better hope there's not.
I didn't say it.
Before we get to the vote, is there anything anyone would like to say? Have the last word? Okay then, Melissa. As usual, you are up first.
Joe really wants me to use my extra vote, but I just don't think it's gonna do anything. Like, if I play the extra vote, all it's gonna do is tie the game, and then we're gonna revote, and they're not gonna switch. If Joe is really going home right now, I'm gonna need that extra vote next time very badly.
If I had to bet money, I think I'm okay. Joe is the one to get out. Joe.
Voting for Joe. I sincerely hope this is what happens, because it'll show that I can trust in my alliance. So, I'm nervous, but hopeful, I guess. Sorry, Joe.
If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Mark. Mark. 2 votes, Mark. Mark. That's 3 votes, Mark. Joe. 1 vote, Joe. Joe. 2 votes, Joe. Joe, we're tied. 3 votes Joe, 3 votes Mark. 1 vote left. Eighth person voted out of Survivor Branford. Mark. Mark, that's 4, that's enough. You'll need to bring me your torch. Mark, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Melissa, why would you vote out the person who would never have voted you out? Phoenix is no longer a thing. I'm really disappointed I didn't make it further.